Hey guys, welcome back to the Let's Talk Football podcast, episode number 4 with me and my mate Cam.
Hey guys.
And this week we're back again. Episode number 4, we're back again with another match week, another Premier League review. And my God, do we have some controversy.
We've got a lot of interesting results to speak about, don't we?
I was going to say, let's start from the top straight away. So, first game underway.
Right, go on.
West Ham versus Chelsea.
Very drought of a game, I thought. I watched a bit of it. I had to watch it in work. Just a bit flat. Like, there was no real team that you looked at and thought, oh, they should win, or they should. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like a draw was a fair result. I don't know what's going on with Chelsea. Really don't. Because even with all this money, they're so flat and they're so boring to watch. West Ham went 1-0 up, and then it's all a lie. João Felix put Chelsea 1-0 up to score his first goal.
It was a nice goal.
Yeah. And then Emerson equalised around 12 or 13 minutes later, something like that, and from then on, mate, flat.
So the game ended West Ham 1, Chelsea 1.
Yes.
João Felix scored the first goal. Return from the red card he got at Fulham at Craven Cottage. With a nice ball in by Enzo Fernandez.
I'm sure it'll be good for his confidence, scoring back from the red card and stuff as well. Currently, as we're recording, they've not scored against Borussia Dortmund, so don't know how much that statement will last. But either way, it's always nice to get a goal on your return. So I don't know if it will continue for him, because a lot of people have been saying, and I agree with Chelsea, it's like every time you get the ball and have a chance to shoot, they decide to pass. Do you know what I mean? It's like they don't have a striker that wants to score. Every single player at this is like, oh no, I'll pass to right, oh no, I'll pass it to left, oh no, we'll go back in the middle and then I'll pass it back to you. It's never just shoot bang. I was watching a bit of the Chelsea Dortmund game before, and there was a perfect chance where, I don't know who the player was, but could have shot, and instead he passed it to Ziyech on the right, and it's like, why? There's a better opportunity there, so I don't know. He might not have the mentality, or it's just Graham Potter not knowing his proper attacking, depth.
Well, I believe I was thinking this today, and we'll speak about it a bit on West Ham. West Ham never get battered 3-4-0, do they? They never do. They're not that team, are they?
No.
You won't see Chelsea beating them 3-0. Or United beating them 3-0, Liverpool beating 3-0.
It's because they're not
they're not that type of team.
The table lies in the sense of where they are in the league.
They're 16th.
They're a poor side, but like you say, they don't tend to get battered off the park. I think they lose 2-0, 1-0, something like that. I can't remember a result this season. They probably have, because a lot of teams have, but I don't remember them suffering a 3-4-0 defeat this season.
So. No, I don't think they have, mate. No. To be honest with you. This was a game where Chelsea needed to win because the pressure is massively on Graham Potter, and he had to win it. And I do feel bad for Graham Potter, but it's what he has to expect getting the Chelsea job.
Oh yeah, it was too big of a leap.
This was, in my opinion, 2 points dropped for Chelsea and 1 point and 1 point gain for West Ham. For West Ham.
I just checked then, so West Ham's most goals conceded in the game were 3 to Arsenal in a game where they lost 3-1. Biggest defeat would either be 3-1 or 2-0, depending on goals and shit like that. You are right, and I don't know what it is with West Ham. I feel like they've just slipped this season, because they've still got good players, they've still got a good side, they're just not clicking. I think David Moyes is more responsible for that than the actual team. I don't know if he'll be sacked by the end of the season. I don't think he will, because to me, I don't think West Ham are in the conversation to go down. I think it's between 2 other teams, which obviously we'll get to in a little bit. But I feel like West Ham will take the point and just move forward, really. Yeah.
Well, they are struggling to score goals big time. I think they've got the same problems as Wolves,
Yes.
They are defensively good. Well, they're defensively okay, but
that's what
going
I mean. Whenever
forward,
they get beat, they don't score. They're always 1-0, 2-0. They don't seem to score a lot, so they do slip up there. But
So that was the first game.
And then it's all the 3 o'clock kickoffs.
Yeah, and then next it's all the 3 o'clock kickoffs. We'll start with Fulham versus Nottingham Forest. This was an interesting clash. I quite like the look of it.
It's a good win.
Sadly, it was the 3:00 kickoff, like we said, so we couldn't watch it. However, Fulham ended up getting the 2-0 win over Nottingham Forest. Yeah. Very good win for Fulham.
It's a good win. They'll take it. I think it was expected. I thought Nottingham Forest would be more in the game, but I think Fulham, as they've shown this season, have got a far better side.
I just forgot. We'll go back.
Predictions.
Not predictions. No. So we'll come back to Fulham, Nottingham Forest. Sorry if there's any fans out there. We will come back to you straight away. No joke. Right. We need to talk about West Ham Chelsea for two more topics. So Chelsea scored 2 offside goals. Right. In the first half. That's not why I've come back.
No.
I've come back for the VAR check. For the handball on Thomas Tuchel. So
I don't even remember it.
So it was last 5 minutes.
Right.
Conor Gallagher shoots the ball, and kind of Thomas Tuchel is going in, or it's definitely on target.
Yeah.
And Thomas Tuchel goes to slide in to get out of the way of it.
Yeah.
And it strikes his arm.
Okay.
And VAR check, and they say it's not a penalty.
Right.
And Chelsea fans are absolutely furious.
I think I haven't. To be honest with it, I don't remember it. I don't think I've seen it properly. Like I said, when I watched it, I was in work, so I probably won't have caught it.
Chelsea fans are raging over it.
If you're describing it how I see it, it's really awkward because it depends how his hand is in a sense. Because when you slide down, you put your arms down to like
that's what everyone's saying.
So I feel like it's harsh because there's been so many penalties in the past that have been given for handballs that they just shouldn't be. I think the handball rule, and with like VAR especially, needs to get figured out because it's too dodgy. It's too dodgy. No one knows what's clear anymore. So I don't know. I can't properly comment on the subject because I don't know. But that isn't the end of the VAR talk from today's match week or so.
I mean, we'll be bringing up other topics.
Yeah.
Doing to VAR, definitely. Also. So that's what I just wanted to briefly speak about, just so we didn't ignore it. So because I wrote down a few notes just in case if I forget. So I'd already had forgotten. What I think of it, it's very unlucky for Chelsea for the last 5 minutes. However, how else is he meant to slide on the ground? So it's extremely unfortunate. However. I think they got it right. Because I just believe that, in my opinion, if it was given, there'd be more controversy going, how's he meant to get his hand out the way? How's he meant to land?
Yeah. No, I get you.
There's more good than bad coming from it.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on to our next. We'll do our predictions at the end.
Okay.
Going through them.
Yes.
So next is Fulham versus Nottingham Forest. Like we said, 2-0 win for Fulham.
I feel like it's just a comfortable win for Fulham.
I think this is a very good win. Nottingham Forest are an insane run of form.
Yeah.
In 2023.
To be fair, it looked like Forest. To be fair, it didn't look like it was the most interesting of games. It was 50-50 on possession. Nottingham Forest had about one shot on target to Fulham's 3. Nothing too exciting at goals end, it seems. William and Solomon just clinical with the finishes basically, and that's it.
William's finish was
brilliant.
Gorgeous. I feel bad for Nottingham Forest. Both of their central defenders got hamstrings injuries in the 7th and 8th minute.
Yeah.
Losing both of their centre backs in a minute. It's harsh.
Easy, I know. I don't know with Nottingham Forest, because I know they won a good little run of form. I don't think they really went to Craven Cottage expecting much. I feel like a lot of people would have expected Fulham to win. If it was at the Forest ground, I don't know what the stadium's called, probably would have been a different story, but I think with it being at Craven Cottage, Fulham probably got what they deserved. So.
Well, Fulham now currently stand in 7th place, which is a really good position for them.
Yeah, incredible.
And Nottingham Forest, they're still in 14th place.
Yeah.
They're not doing that too bad.
No.
Especially...
If they keep to their consistent run of this year, they can stay up comfortably.
Next game. I love this game.
Which one?
Leicester City versus Spurs.
Mendy's goal.
Oh. Wow.
Absolute
Leicester City 4, Tottenham Hotspur 1.
Yeah, it's an incredible result.
this game was absolutely incredible. Obviously, Tottenham Hotspur score first.
Yeah, Benton Carr.
Yes.
Scored the opening goal. Goal, to be fair, it was decent enough goal. To be honest, when I saw them go 1-0, I thought that'd be it. Not in a sense that it would finish 1-0, but I thought Tottenham would
have it in the bag.
Do you have a good? I feel like they've just got a good record against Leicester. They always seem to manage to beat them.
Yeah.
Harry Kane usually always scores against them, so the fact he can't, quiet him down. Fair play for them. It shows improvements over the previous games they played anyway.
Talking about Ben Tanker, obviously he pulled up his ACL injury. He's out for 6 to 8 months.
Yeah.
That is a huge blow for Spurs. I do believe he's the best
really
midfielder.
Player. Yeah, he's incredible. What's it called? Yeah, like Leicester were 3-1 up at half time though. Like that was my prediction for Tottenham. The other way around. So it's like,
I mean, it only took him 9 minutes for Mendy to score.
Yeah.
Then 2 minutes later, Maddison scores, returning from injury.
I feel like.
And then Ian Atcher in the 45th plus 4th minute.
The manager situation for both clubs is odd because I never thought I'd say it, but I feel like Brendan Rodgers doesn't get enough credit that he deserves. I know his Leicester side have dropped off drastically to where he wanted to be aiming for a few years ago, but he still pulls out these results incredibly well, and I don't see anyone giving him enough respect for that.
Yeah.
Because I thought he would have been sacked by this point. I'll hold my hands up. Like I said, as soon as they offered him that 5-year deal, he wouldn't make it past maybe his 3rd year. But he's probably in his 4th now, maybe something like that. So he's done better than what I thought, and I think Antonio Conte is going to go in the summer, unless that takeover comes through.
No, it's come out saying it's all false.
Either way, if Antonio Conte isn't getting the spending, I don't think they'll keep him in the summer. Nor do I think they'll keep some of their best players, which is a different subject for a different day.
Yeah.
But either way, I feel like Tottenham in seasons to come could seriously struggle if it remains on a certain pattern like this.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I don't want to get too carried away with them because they are still 5th in the Premier League.
Correct. Yeah, they are. They're the team that I think loses every week.
But are still like
and are only 2 points off Newcastle.
Yeah, it's weird that.
It's crazy. It is crazy, and I do kind of love that as well. Brighton, they're only 4 points off them in 6, so fair play to Brighton. They're going to feel hard done by in the next game, but we'll bring them up in a few minutes.
Yeah.
But big credit to Leicester City.
Yeah, they did well.
Obviously, just because Leicester City, they ran riot. They just, and I do want to bring this up. Fraser Forster. Obviously, Lloris was injured.
Poor goalkeeper.
Mendy, you can't do anything about. I think it's more poor defending than bad goalkeeping.
Yeah.
Because from a goalkeeper standpoint, like I play in goal, maybe if that's me getting used to blaming the defenders in front of me.
It looked like a lot of defenders were in his way.
And they were backing up. They shouldn't have been backing up.
But I feel like they've got a goalkeeper issue. Like Lloris, he's went from being called like one of the best goalkeepers in the Premier League to one of the worst. He's had a really poor season.
Yes.
Really poor. For his standards anyway. And again, Fraser Forster's no one you bring in to expect to be a hero. No disrespect on him. I think he's a decent goalkeeper, but nowhere near like Tottenham Hotspur level or what they want to go for.
I think teams should start getting strong second goalkeepers.
Yeah.
I really do. Obviously, it's hard for that because keepers want to be playing, but
a lot of teams like. Well, this is what I'm saying. It's like Fulham and Nottingham Forest. They have Bernd Leno and Keylor Navas, and it's like, how did those two goalkeepers? I know there's a big difference. I think Navas is a far better keeper than Leno, but how did those two sides get two really solid goalkeepers, and Tottenham have ended up with the likes of Fraser Forster and stuff like that? Do you get what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Especially Nottingham Forest.
Well, United had the perfect one, Romero.
Yeah,
he was perfect. He just turned up, got clean sheets, and was happy to be in on the bench.
Where did he go?
He went to Boca Juniors.
Did he?
Argentina.
Okay. He is Argentinian, isn't he? Yeah. Okay,
went back to his native town.
And now, you don't know. Do you have Dean Henson?
No, he's on loan at Nottingham Forest.
Oh, yes.
And then Nottingham Forest signed Keylor Navas.
Which is just a middle finger to him.
I was going to say, that transfer was mad. Anyway,
we're going off completely back to the game. But yeah, poor from Spurs, great from Leicester.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Credit to Leicester. They're slowly coming back up the table. They are currently in 13th place, and Spurs, like we said, they're off in 5th place. But Spurs are still 4 points off, 6 places, 4 points behind Spurs, so they're doing okay.
Because Newcastle have drawn a million games, which we'll get on to later.
Yeah, definitely. On to the next game. Crystal Palace 1, Brighton 1.
Brighton will feel good about this one.
Brighton absolutely spanked them. Yeah. And they got a VAR decision against them as well.
Yeah, I think it was Sanchez's mistake, wasn't it? It was like 7 shots on target to Crystal Palace's 1. Like, I don't know how Crystal Palace managed to get a point out of that, but they'll bloody take it. You know they will.
Yeah.
It's always got a rivalry, this game, and I do love it. It's mad as well, because obviously Brighton, like, they dominated the game, but you look at, like, the difference between the goal times. Like, Solly Marsh scored around the 63rd minute, and then I think about 7 minutes later, who was it that equalised? Tompkins equalised, so it's like, they got by, but Crystal Palace managed to respond really well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's good enough for them, but, like, even then you look at 17 shots to Crystal Palace's 6, it's like, they didn't play well, especially for a home side. 74% to Brighton in possession as well. It's like, it's not a good sign as a Crystal Palace fan to play like that at home. But Brighton are a really good side this season, so...
It was a Sanchez mistake.
Yeah, of course.
Brighton battered him.
Yeah.
And Sanchez dropped it. It was a cross that came in, and Sanchez caught it and dropped it, and Tompkins was in of it.
Yeah.
But the game ended 1-1. Fair play to Palace. They've been getting a few good draws recently.
Yeah.
And obviously Brighton are having the time of their lives, and I don't think they'll be too disheartened with it. However, Fulham winning won't help.
That's the thing. So I went into this game thinking Crystal Palace would win. They do have a good record against Brighton. They've not lost them since 2019.
Mm-hmm.
Other than then, it's been about, I think they've drawn about 5 times, including yesterday, or whenever the draw was, a couple of days ago. And then they've beaten them about twice. So it's not, they've drawn more than both sides have won in those fixtures anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, just an odd game, a really odd game between the two. Because I wouldn't have expected Brighton to dominate as well as they did. Even how good they are, I just wouldn't have expected it from them. But fair play, they keep proving me wrong every week.
I was going to say, like I said, I was surprised Crystal Palace got something from the game, but they have been hanging in recently. Yeah, so, like I said, fair play to Crystal Palace. Like I said, they did survive the game.
You'll take the point.
Yeah, and they're sitting in 12th.
Yeah.
They're sitting at that is prime Crystal Palace.
Yeah, it's where
12th place.
Not where those fans probably want to be, but like they'll be happy with. They'll take it.
Yes, as long as they're not getting relegated, Palace are happy.
Yeah.
So that game ended 1-1. Moving on to another. There were 2 more 3 p.m. kickoffs. We're going to Southampton 1, Wolves 2.
Yeah. Southampton's manager got sacked after this game. He went 1-0 up. Typical story of just getting beat again. I think it is games like this where I don't want to say it screams relegation, but you need, like, if you want to stay up, these are the games and the sides that you need to beat.
Yeah.
Being 1-0 up and having Wolves turn it around to win 2-1, it's not what you're after when you're trying to survive. And now they're about 3 points off, or 4 points off 17th place, so it's not looking good.
Man, it's not looking good for Southampton. They went 1-0 up. The St Mary's was electric.
Yeah.
And then Wolves ended up getting the goal.
Yeah.
Wolves, it was cruel. Obviously, it was an own goal in the 72nd minute from Bednarek. And then 15 minutes later, 87th minute, it's cruel. Joao Gomez made it 2-1 to Wolves. So it was a good victory for Wolves and absolutely heartbreaking for Southampton, right?
Definitely.
But can we speak about the Lamina red card?
Oh yeah.
That was interesting.
Yeah, it was a bit.
So, for context, Lamina had already been on a yellow card, and a foul had happened, and apparently there's a rule where no more than 2 players can approach the referee at one time, or apparently according to the referee anyway. And Lamina was the 3rd player coming over, and if you have a look at the replay, literally just comes over and the referee just shows them another yellow card and sends them off.
Yeah.
That was in the 27th minute. That was only 3 minutes after Southampton's goal.
Yeah, it's a bit rough. Like it's a harsh decision.
It's insane. All the refereeing this weekend has been atrocious.
I think, well, Wolves won't feel too disheartened because obviously they managed to win the game. But
left it late.
Yeah, of course, but still they'll take the points and it's just a road to survival for them.
I mean, that's 2 wins in a row now.
I think Southampton are one of those sides where I never thought they would have got relegated, but at this current present time, which probably sounds obvious saying it out loud, but like you look at their side and you think to yourself like, who in there is really Premier League proven? Bar James Ward-Prowse. Like, is there anyone else?
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? Everyone else in there is very Championship standard in my eyes.
Yeah.
James Ward-Prowse will probably leave in the summer. I say probably, he will leave in the summer, especially if Southampton go down. Probably go to a side like West Ham, Brentford, Brighton, something like that.
Yeah.
Depending on how well they do anyway, finishing in the league wise. But yeah, I don't think it looks good for Southampton.
No, it doesn't at all. So that's a good 3 points there for Wolves and absolute heartbreak for Southampton.
Of course.
But they left it late, but it's absolute scenes in the away end of St Mary's.
Oh, yeah.
On to the last 3 p.m. kickoff. It is Arsenal 1, Brentford 1. Now,
you don't know where to begin, do we?
I mean, just for context, guys, we made a prediction on the Arsenal-Man City game. We've literally just finished watching that, so we know the result.
So we'll cover them both.
Yes, we'll cover them both. However, a bit of this Arsenal-Brentford game could back up our own opinion of what we've just seen.
We can refer back to it when we get to the...
but let's just speak on how the game went. In my opinion, Arsenal were very lucky to even get the draw. Brentford were phenomenal.
I think...
They were really good. Arsenal just didn't turn up. They only had probably 2 chances the whole game.
To me, it's really tough. Because I feel like Brentford should have got more. But Arsenal had those chances where, like... I don't know, because Arsenal, like, from what the stats say anyway, it's like they had more shots on target, they had more shots in general, but the way Brentford took their chances, they came across more unlucky. Do you get what I mean? Like, hitting the underside of the bar and stuff like that. Like, it's way more unlucky on their side. Because I don't know. Brentford are one of those sides now where they seem to play really difficult football, if that makes sense. Difficult to come across. They'll be buzzing with the point. Absolutely buzzing.
They'd love it.
And fair play to them. I didn't think that at all. I didn't think they'd get a point. No chance. But
Brentford are currently sitting 8th in the Premier League.
Yeah, doing well.
Phenomenal for them.
Very well.
But they left it late with Brentford's goal. VAR should have ruled it out.
Yeah, that's where it comes into the whole like Brentford should have won and Arsenal got lucky to get the point. It's like, yeah, but Brentford are also very lucky to have got anything. I feel like Arsenal will be very disappointed with that, and if they lose out on the title by 2 points or a point, it's very dodgy.
Which nowadays it's very possible.
Very possible, and how can you forget to draw the lines? I don't get that at all.
Because I know what the story is behind it. Because they were originally checking for another offside. It took them 3 minutes to get to that, and fans were getting pissed off. So he was there, not offside, and then he completely forgot to keep watching the video to double check, and there was obviously an offside.
I don't understand that, because even if there is another decision and fans are complaining it's taking too long, then so what? Like, take 10 minutes. If you get the right decision, it's the right decision. Arsenal fans won't care if those added 2 points won them the league and they had to wait an extra 10 minutes in the stadium. Like, they wouldn't care. I'm not one of those fans that particularly hates VAR. I actually think it's needed. But
I think it'll be missed if it went.
Yeah, it just gets a lot of things wrong, which is the issue. But when people say like, oh, it gets everything wrong and it's terrible, it's not. It's just when it goes not our way, that's when we seem to hate it. And obviously things like that happen, but when you look at certain situations in the Premier League from the past, if VAR was there, teams could have won this, teams could have done that, and obviously the fan bases back then wouldn't be complaining if it was there. So now, just all of a sudden it appears, doesn't mean it has to be an issue. Do you get what I mean?
Yep.
But I feel like it's very decisive on whether they want it in or not, basically.
Yeah. Well, this was definitely a point game for Brentford and 2 points dropped by Arsenal. They had to win these games, especially because City were right round the corner. I saw it coming a mile away. I didn't see him dropping points. I'm not going to lie to you. I didn't see it.
Struggle,
but
I've
been seeing this dip for a while with Arsenal. Just because it's natural and it happens, they've become that good. They've become their worst villain type thing, where they've obviously rightly so believed their own hype, and then now everyone's expecting them to go for the league, and when they don't get it, everyone's like, oof.
Yeah. I feel like all of the games that they're slipping up on as well. If this was Arsenal of the past couple of seasons, they wouldn't mind because, well, they go to Goodison Park for the past 3 seasons, have got beat. It seems like Brentford probably would get points at the Emirates, and then obviously we'll speak about the game later.
Yeah.
But those results would be expected, but because of the position that they're in at the moment, that's why they'll be very disappointed with the result overall. So
of course. Well, moving on.
5:30 kickoff.
5:30 kickoff. Bournemouth versus Newcastle.
This was unexpected.
Bournemouth 1, Newcastle 1. Newcastle drawing again, dropping points again.
It's like a laughing draws now.
They can't score.
No. Bournemouth got 1-0.
Yep, from a corner again.
Yeah.
Pretty much identical goal from the last game.
Yeah.
From the corner.
Bournemouth will be very happy with it. I wrote them off completely. I thought they were going to get absolutely battered, but fair play to them. I think Newcastle are going to really, they're going to suffer a lot from these draws where it's like if they could have just scored one more goal in a lot of these games, they could be top of the league. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah,
obviously it's hypothetical, but they drew 3 games 0-0, and I think to myself, if you could have just scored a goal, that's it. You'd be way higher up the league, and it's all impressive that they've lost 1 game a season, but it feels like Newcastle are just kind of settling for that now. They're just let's finish the season where we've just lost a game. You know what I mean? Because it looks good for the record.
Well, I think they've got one eye on the trophy. They've got one eye on the Carabao Cup.
They're just extremely defensive, and it is impressive how long they've been unbeaten for now.
It massively works.
Yeah, and they've done incredibly well this season. The fact that they went from a relegation candidate last season to losing 1 game in February is incredible. But that's the thing with Newcastle, they just don't get beat, but they don't win.
The problem is right now they are struggling to defend.
Yeah.
And they're struggling to defend from corners, facts.
Yeah.
And they're struggling to score now, facts.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy. I think, I'll be honest, I don't think they'll get to the end of the season of only losing 1 game.
Mm-hmm.
I do think they'll get beat again.
Do you reckon they'll still get top 4?
I think they will. Because they're still more consistent at not losing.
Than other
teams. I still think they will, but it'll be by a hair's grasp. Because I don't think Tottenham are as consistent as Newcastle. Newcastle still gaining points, even when they probably shouldn't.
This is mad. They've only never not gained points once this season. Every other time they've gained 1 point.
Yeah, exactly. So
it's very impressive.
You've still got a lot of things going for them. And that's like you say, it's like they've lost a game. It's consistent and a half to go unbeaten that long. I think top 4 will be close, and it really depends if they lose or not. They've got Liverpool at St James's on the weekend. If they beat them, the top 4 could look fine for them. It will give them a big confidence boost. If they drop points or even lose, because Liverpool are the only side to beat them this season, then their heads could seriously start dropping, especially if Tottenham win the next game. So it'll be interesting either way. And Bournemouth as well, it'll give them a spike of confidence.
Of course.
I think they'll still go down.
They're still going down for me.
Yeah, I agree. I still think they'll go down, but it's a good point. Either way, they'll take it.
I agree. Moving on to the Sunday fixtures, we had the Rose Derby. Leeds United at Ellen Road versus Manchester United. We obviously covered the Man United 2 Leeds 2 game. We discussed it, and obviously we made our predictions on this, which we'll talk about briefly in a while.
Oh, you did this game. You should keep a clean sheet from the last one.
Oof, mate. I watched this game, obviously, being a United fan. We were poor. Let me just... it ended Leeds 0, Manchester United 2.
Yeah.
Man United ended up getting the win. Very, very tough game. It always will be at Ellen Road. The fans are always up for it. They're always loud. And it's always a rivalry. Jack Sancho got snapped at the first 30 seconds.
Yeah.
First half, we weren't all there. Bruno should have scored his one-on-one chance. But other than that, up until the 65th minute, Leeds should have been 1 or 2-0 up. They should have been winning the game. However, I blame Leeds because they shouldn't have scored. They should have scored.
Yeah, you need to score.
It's not our fault they're not scoring. And then Marcus Rashford
turns the game around. That's what he does. Scores the goal. Boom. Leeds heads drop. That's it.
I love that man.
I think the fact that you got 2 quick fire goals so late on just killed them. It really killed them and just dropped the heads. And yeah, fair play. Because you're looking like a serious good side under Ten Hag. Definitely improved massively. I never want to get too carried away with Man United because obviously in the past, like, we know managers that have came in and thought to have been or potentially succeeded.
Eric Ten Hag's a different gravy.
Yes, no, I do agree completely. But obviously we've seen in the past, like, always had seasons where he's finished second. Mourinho has 2, so I just don't want to get too carried away.
Of course.
But I think Ten Hag's showing a difference where the players he's bringing in, how he's improving players as well. Like, I've never seen Marcus Rashford this good before. Garnacho, I'm really impressed with as well. I thought did he score?
Yes.
Yes, yeah. I thought he had a really good game. And yeah, like you said, I just think Ten Hag, he just really knows what he's doing. He really knows what he's doing.
Mate, Marcus Rashford, he is amazing.
Oh yeah,
he's a beast at the moment. He's unstoppable. He's one of the best strikers in Europe right now, hands down.
Yeah, I think,
if not the best at the moment.
I think with Ten Hag as well, a lot of the players kind of fear him now because of how he treated Ronaldo, and I think that's brilliant from Ten Hag. I think he did what he had to do, get the main, because I feel like Ten Hag came into that changing room in the first couple of games of the season and realised that there's a man in there that thinks he's bigger than him. Do you get what I mean?
Correct.
And Ten Hag has got rid of that guy, thrown him out, and all the players are sat there like, whoa, you can do that? Like, do you get what I mean?
And then he dropped Maguire.
Exactly, he dropped Harry Maguire, which again, even though he's not the best of centre-backs, a lot of people thought, well, he's undroppable, he's been our captain for the past few years, yet he did it. Brought in Martinez, which I'm going to say he's done incredible work on Martinez because he's a very small guy, yet he's an incredible defender. Even in the air, he's really good, and it's like, it's odd, but fair play to him. Him and Rafael Varane seem like brick walls at the moment, so...
Rafael Varane. As a triangle, Martinez, Varane, Casemiro.
It's phenomenal.
Mate.
Real Madrid 2.0.
Yeah, mate, honestly, I'm loving this side at the moment.
Yeah.
So Marcus Rashford scores to make a 1-0 in the 81st minute. I went absolutely bonkers in my room. I'm surprised I didn't smash any windows. And then 4 minutes later, Garnacho got a lot of hate midweek especially from United fans. I'm not going to hide away from it.
Yeah.
United fans, which I don't agree with, they're not proper United fans, they're hating an 18-year-old. They're saying he should have scored against Leeds at home. Well, he made sure he scored now, and a very great finish.
I think it's always harsh when players don't necessarily score a certain chance. Like, I remember when we watched the Everton United game, I think it was last season, and Tom Davies could have scored, but he didn't. And it was one of those things where he could have put his laces through us and we could have won the game. But he wanted to pass it, and a lot of people said online, like, it's fine, just shoot next time. Do you get what I mean? Like, it's support, and I feel like with Garnacho, it's really harsh to just criticise him for not scoring a certain chance. I had to bring the Everton comparison.
Of course.
And yeah, I guess that's it for the Rose Derby, is that what we call it?
Yes, of course. So I was very happy with the result, but it's one of them games where it was an ugly game.
Yeah.
It was an ugly game.
But you go marching on.
But
there you go.
We won 2-0. Eric Ten Hag, you absolute beauty.
Yeah. So Sunday was dominated by the Manchester clubs winning because we go to Manchester City versus Aston Villa at the Etihad. 4 o'clock you're back.
Yes. Man City ended up winning this game 3-1 against Aston Villa. Yeah. Very convincing from Man City. 3-0 up in the first half.
It's just standard. Like, it's a result that you feel like you just expect to see. You just get it done. Do you know what I mean? Like,
and I felt there was something different with this game, you know. Because Ruben Diaz returned.
Yeah.
And Kyle Walker came back to the squad.
Yeah.
And I feel that just massively brings an impact to the team.
Yeah, definitely.
And they're 3-0 up by half time, and obviously Haaland went off and injured at half time, but as we know now, that was for tactical reasons.
I think when we were predicting this game, I thought Villa would have gave them more of like a little bit of a tussle.
Yeah.
But either way, City have done well enough to win the game. They needed the 3 points, they got them, and that's it. Like, I wouldn't expect nothing more from this game. I expected Villa to lose either way.
Yeah.
Just expected a bit more of a fight. That's all. Mm-hmm. But yeah, is there more to talk about? It's just standard.
Just City being City, innit? Yeah. Fair play to City, but still got to go out there and get the job done, and they did do so. Fair play. Aston Villa, they did have a very good away record. However, you have to have an extremely good away record to win. Especially when they're going now fully charged for a title.
With Man City, it's not about how good you play; it's about how they play. If you want to beat them, you can play as good as you can, but if they're on their game, they'll beat you. However, when it's the likes of City are a bit poor and you're on your game, you'll beat them. You get we've seen it in the past where Liverpool and City have played at their best, but City still beat them. And obviously Liverpool have had it at times, but even when Liverpool have beat them, I still think City have been poor. I feel like we don't look at a game between those two, bar maybe that 4-3 where we've said the losers played well.
Yeah.
Bar maybe, again, the 2-1 at the Etihad, if you remember a few years ago when Aguero scored.
Yeah.
And I think Aguero might have scored both. Or was it Sane? Something like that. But yeah, either way, I don't know, I can't even remember what my point was now, I've just lost it. Oh yeah, how to beat City, yeah, it's just, depends on how you play, in my opinion.
True.
That's it.
Anyway, moving on from Manchester City versus Arsenal, we move to Monday night.
Oh yes.
The Merseyside derby. I'll let... to be fair, I'm not gonna let Cam say the result, because I think it's a bit harsh. Liverpool ended up winning 2-0 at Anfield against Everton, and I'll let Cam have the rest of the floor.
I think I got way too carried away with predicting, because at the end of the day, this result, in my opinion, it doesn't mean anything. It happens every year. They always beat us. We played our kids. No, sorry, they played their kids in that FA Cup fixture one day. A few years ago, we played our strongest team. We battered them. They still beat us. It happens all the time. I got way too ahead of myself saying we'd win 3-1. That's ridiculous of me to say. Either way, this game was a toss of a coin, and it all happened from when we hit the post, they countered and scored. Whoever scored that goal, I think would have went on to. Well, if we had scored, I think we would have got a point. And if they, obviously, when they scored, that turned up the ante, and they went on to win. But Everton were just flat. They were dull. It was really poor. There was no fight. It didn't feel like a derby, if that makes sense. There was nothing in our players. Couldn't keep a hold of the ball. Kept giving it away. And Liverpool deserved every chance they got. I feel like if we went in 1-0 at half time from that corner, it would have been very lucky. But we probably would have just dragged out the game and tried to fight out for the 1-0 win. So
that was Liverpool's best performance in a while, granted. They had to be, so credit to Liverpool, because they did have to turn up that game, and they did. What on earth was Jordan Pickford doing?
I don't know. I think his positioning was poor. It was really poor. I think he was predicting Salah wouldn't get it. It was going to go to, I think it was Gakpo on the side. I feel like he was predicting him there, but obviously Salah dinked it and got it in. I'm not fussed. It is what it is. Poor positioning. But yeah, no, it's one of them. I feel like when the game was about to kick off, didn't expect much. It's just a Merseyside derby, that usually happens. But we'll move. I don't think Liverpool were that impressive. We made them look a lot better than they actually were on the night. But yeah, it's standard. We were poor. They were a bit better. Scored the chances. Done.
So Salah opened the scoring to make it 1-0. Then Cody Gakpo scored his first goal for Liverpool in the second half. It was a nice tap-in, to be fair, and he seemed quite pleased with it. But it was a good performance by Liverpool. One that we would expect against Everton.
Yeah, they always beat us, don't they?
But it's how they move into the next fixture for me anyway.
With Newcastle.
Yes. That'll be a cracking game, and we will predict that later on.
Yes.
Anyway, moving on to the last game, which this game was. When were they meant to be played? It said match day 12. So this game was a game in hand. Yeah, this was one of the game in hands.
Oh, I think it was when. No, it wasn't. That was the Everton one. It might have been in November, December kickoff. I don't remember. Either way, here we are, February.
Yes, Arsenal versus Manchester City. In my opinion, I was saying this to you today, whoever wins this, it's a big title decider.
Yep, I agree.
So, this game ended Arsenal 1, Man City 3.
Yeah.
Arsenal finally lose at the Emirates.
I think, like I said to you before, City just they're one of those sides where you don't know how good they are until you play them. Like when you're flying high and they just play you off the park at your own home stadium. It's like what I said to you when United were under Mourinho and you were really good at home and City were obviously phenomenal that season. I think that was the 100 points one. And they still went to Old Trafford and beat us, and it's like they just have that in them at times where they just go to these stadiums where it's meant to be impossible to win. Everyone underestimates them, and then they just get the win. But they made it look easy, especially in the second half. Made it look so easy against the side that's been so consistent this season as well. But like the last few games, but other than that, they've been phenomenal, Arsenal. So
I mean, first half De Bruyne. Mistake from Tomiyasu. De Bruyne chipped it over Ramsdale, opened the scoring to make it 1-0. Then, could we say a controversial penalty for Edison on Nketiah?
Yeah, I'll be honest, I don't think he should have got a penalty. I always feel like those goalkeeper... remember, I said to you as well, remember when Wolves beat City 3-2?
Yeah.
I never thought that foul on Coutinho was a penalty by Edison. I never understand how it's a penalty when they get clanked into by that. Like, if they're both going for the ball, I don't necessarily see an issue with it. And this one as well, like, no one even claimed that it was a penalty for Nketiah, no one, and then the ref gave it, and from the replay, I don't understand. I just don't understand what the were thinking given a penalty personally anyway, so I feel like Man City should have won about 3-0, never mind the 1. So.
So Saka ended up scoring his penalty.
Very good.
And fair play to that. And then Jack Grealish ended up making it 2-1. Man City fans went absolutely berserk.
It was a deflection from Tomiyasu again.
Yeah, it was. I remember I was going to save it. So it was unlucky from Tomiyasu. We didn't have a good game at all. And then 10 minutes later, Erling Haaland, 32 goals in 30 games for Manchester City, ended up making it 3-1.
Good goal. Very good goal.
I like the goal a lot.
Yeah.
Coming from United fans, saying a lot. But when Haaland scored, I just saw City win the title.
I think City will win it now. I am convinced. I feel like to go to the Emirates and win, because I was so confident Arsenal were going to win that game. So confident. Because it was just at the Emirates purely for that. But
I just think records mean something.
Yeah, they do.
Arsenal versus
do.
Man City.
Yeah.
Arsenal haven't won since 2015 against Man City, man.
Yeah, it's true. And I think City have won like 8 in a row against them. And like when you look at the results, it's not like City have won 1-0. It's like 3-0, 5-0, 3-0, 3-0, like 3-1 tonight. It's like they're hefty wins. But I don't know, because obviously, like we were saying, it's like this season Arsenal have destroyed those records. They hadn't won at the they hadn't won at White Hart Lane since like 2015, and they beat them. So like there are certain records in the league where they might get away with beating them. I know they hadn't beat. Actually, no, that's a lie. I was going to say they haven't beat Liverpool in a while, and they did it a few seasons ago. But either way, I just kind of thought because Arsenal were looking good this season, they might have got something. But with the form they've been in recently, I guess it's just really switched them off.
I mean, first half Arsenal were in it. I just felt second half Arteta changed something, and they just changed their. They didn't look dangerous.
No.
I felt they looked dangerous in the first half. Every time they got on the ball for a counter attack, I'm like, hey, up, they could score here. Don't get me wrong. Second half Arteta wanted to start playing from the back like he used to do when he first started joining. I remember when he did against Chelsea, like the Community Shield, they actually felt like they looked like they, started to play football a bit, but they just didn't start looking dangerous there.
Yeah.
If that's just my opinion, and I saw this coming because I know what these type of teams are like.
Yeah.
I do,
definitely.
because United like to do it sometimes.
I think they kind of remind me of like someone like they're not as good as these sides, but they kind of Man City anyway. They kind of remind me of like Bayern or Real Madrid, where you could go into these games in the highest of form, flying high, and then you play a side like them and they just bully you. And that's it. I feel like City, especially the second half, they just run Arsenal riot. And yeah, fair
well,
play to them.
Man City are currently top now on goal difference. So the 10 gap. Well, there's 10 goals, extra goals for Man City.
I feel like we've not had a new leader in the league for ages. I think Arsenal might have had it since day. I don't know if it's since day one.
No,
but
but
for a good while. So yeah, no, fair play to them. They've done really well, but it doesn't last, does it, when it's Man City you're in your league?
No. So it was a very, very good win for Manchester City. Crucial in the Premier League. Arsenal fall into second place. And to be honest, I just don't see him climbing back from this. If they do,
fair play.
Massive cojones to them.
Yeah.
Honestly. But that is it for the Premier League roundup of results from the past week. Now, let's get into some more. Let's get into a more interesting topic. As if they weren't as interesting already.
Oh, yeah.
We did our predictions for this week. So last match week, I ended up winning 5-3 against Cam. So I'm currently 1-0 up. Time to see if Cam can get it back underway. So what we're going to do, we're going to read our predictions, and then we're going to read we're going to read the official result, and then we'll say what we predicted. If you guys don't know the rules, if you get the correct team winning, but not the score, you get 1 point. If you get the correct team winning, you get 3 points. And obviously, if you don't get the correct team winning or drawing, or you don't get any points.
Yeah.
So moving on to the first game, West Ham. This game ended 1-1. Cam, you said Chelsea to win 1-0.
Yeah.
I said Chelsea to win 2-0.
This one's annoying because, like, when I look at a fixture like this, I just thought it would be a gritty 1-0. That's it. And obviously I saw Chelsea go 1-0 up, and I was like, happy days. I feel like, because as soon as they went 1-0 up, I genuinely thought that would be it as well. Like, there wasn't a part of me that thought, oh yeah, West Ham will come back and score this. I just think they'll drag it out, because Chelsea need wins no matter what. But yeah, no points, is it?
Apologies, I said Chelsea 2-0. I actually said West Ham 2-0.
Oh, did you?
Bit of a typo.
Let's try to get away with it.
Yeah, I was going to say. But, like we said, the game ended 1-1, so no one got any points for that, even if I said West Ham, regardless. Arsenal versus Brentford, this game ended 1-1. I said Arsenal 2-1.
Close.
You said Arsenal 2-0.
Yes.
Looking at this game, I was like, can we just get some points on the board?
Yeah. I think...
Granted, we've got no more. We've got no points on the board so far.
I didn't see Brentford getting anything.
I saw Brentford getting a goal, but that was it.
Yeah.
That was just out of respect for their form.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on to Crystal Palace, this game ended 1-1. I said Brighton 2, Palace 0. You said Crystal Palace 1, Brighton 0.
I'm just getting like a goal off. Well, by the Arsenal.
Yeah.
It's just like, anyway.
It's almost falling into play. We've got 0 points. This is awful. We are so sorry, guys.
Well, I mean, we've been close.
We have been close. It's not like...
Don't get the week before.
Yeah, it's not like the week before. That was awful.
There's one result on here, though.
I know.
It's just like horrific.
We do start getting some points on the board with Fulham and Nottingham Forest. This game ended Fulham 2, Nottingham Forest 0. Cameron Holmes, you said Fulham 3, Nottingham Forest 2.
I'm glad I changed the win, because I said Nottingham Forest at first, so thank God I changed that.
I said Fulham 1, Nottingham Forest 0. I was one goal
so
off.
Close.
However, I'll take it with how Willian scored that goal.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? Fair enough. So that means we both have 1 point. Obviously, granted, no one said 2-0, so no one gets 3 points. So we are both on 1 point. Moving on to the next game. Leicester City 4. Tottenham Hotspur 0. God, they wish. Tottenham Hotspur 1. I'll start with me. Leicester City. I said Leicester City 2, Tottenham Hotspur 2. I didn't see no one getting the win. I just thought this would be a bit of a cagey match.
Yeah.
I was wrong.
Very.
So I said a 2-2 draw. Cameron, you said Leicester City 1, Tottenham Hotspur 3.
I basically got the result the complete one way around. Yeah, I was stunned. That's it.
Enough said.
Literally, that's it.
So we're all still on 1 point. Oh God.
The next one's not going to be very good.
Moving on, Southampton
Yeah.
versus Wolves. Obviously, this game ended Southampton 1,
Yeah.
Wolves 2. Cameron, you said Southampton 1, Wolves 1.
Oh, did I say 1-1?
Yeah, you said 1-1.
Oh, I thought you said 1-0.
And I said Southampton 1, Wolves 2.
You got it spot on, I knew you did.
I got it spot on. I've got 3 points on the board, boys. Well buzzing. What can I say? Absolutely buzzing with that. Currently on 4 points. Cam's on 1.
Yeah.
how great. I just saw Wolves getting a win, but I saw Southampton scoring as well. To give all respect to Southampton. So current standings, I'm on 4, Cam is on 1. Moving on to the next game, Bournemouth versus Newcastle. Obviously finished 1-1. We both predicted Newcastle to absolutely smash Bournemouth. I predicted Newcastle to win 3-0. You predicted Newcastle to win 4-0.
How the hell did they get the point?
How?
I don't understand.
To be honest, guys, you've got to give us this. You don't know what Newcastle team are going to turn up.
I think what annoys me as well is that I seem to do this every prediction, is where I'm like, Bournemouth and Newcastle drawing at St James's Park, and then for some reason I'm like, oh yeah, but they'll win like 4-0.
Next, when we're doing our predictions this week, you've got to go all out.
I just need to be honest.
So we're still. I'm on 4 points. Cam's still on 1. Moving on to Leeds United versus Man United.
This was a middle finger to me.
Yes.
Right middle finger.
Pretty much. To be fair, it was middle fingers for both of us.
To be fair.
Both of us. So the game ended Leeds United 0, Manchester United 2. I predicted Leeds United 1, Man United 2. You predicted Leeds United 0, Man United 1.
I think what annoys me so much is that I saw Marcus Rashford score in the 80th minute and I was like, that's it. That is it. Game, set and match. Right? That's done. And then got on that joke, just because I went on my phone and 5 minutes later to see the full time, scored 10 minutes later, whatever it will be. And I was like, right, 3 points on the board. And then I saw it and heart broke. I was like, for God's sake. Because I actually seem to get way more invested now because we made it a bit more of a competition. Mm-hmm. So, but either way, both of us were just incredibly unlucky on that. I called out on both.
Apologies, got it wrong with the Bournemouth Newcastle. That does actually add a point to us. Yes, because Newcastle won and we both said they would win. Oh no, they drew, didn't they?
What the hell did that
come from? My God, I'm thinking Newcastle won.
Why did we? What? Why? We literally just read out the result.
I know.
You said that and I was like, what?
Oh, it's too late.
Anyway.
It's too late. If you guys don't know, we're recording this at 11:15. Commitment.
It's not even 11:15, it's half 10.
Alright, give us 11:15. Yeah, give us 15 minutes
I'll
off.
let you off. It's not like anyone watching is going to know.
My God. So, obviously from the Man United score, they ended up winning. Yay. Yep. Leeds United should have scored, so I should have got 2-1, and United shouldn't have scored the second goal. Yeah. So, we ended up still getting a point, so I am on 5 and Cameron Holmes is on 2. Moving on to the Manchester City game. We both predicted, obviously this game finished Man City 3, Aston Villa 1. I said Man City would win 4-0, and Cameron Holmes said Man City would win 3-1.
Woo! First result win, first one spot on.
First one spot on for Cam in the whole season.
Yeah.
Obviously,
we're still ahead, aren't you, by a point now? You get a point, but I gain 3.
Yes. So I'm on 6 and you're currently on 5. Yeah. So it's very close now. Moving on to the next game, Liverpool versus Everton. Oof.
Let's just move on.
Yeah, let's just ignore this.
You got no point. You were close. Oh wait, no, you weren't.
No.
I thought you said 1-0 Liverpool for some reason.
No. So I said this game ended Liverpool 2, Everton 0. Yeah. I said Everton would win 1-0, and Cam said Everton would win 3-1.
I'm not gonna comment. I don't know why I said we'd win.
Do we have to comment?
No.
That's
one of the worst ones.
Oh fucking hell! That just didn't end well. You know what? I believe in miracles. I like miracles, but sadly it did not happen at Anfield. Moving on to the last game, Arsenal versus Man City. This game ended 3-1 to Manchester City.
Got it the wrong way round.
I predicted Arsenal would win this 3-2. Cam predicted that Arsenal would win this 3-1.
This is another one that annoys me, where it's every result I tell myself, I just switch it to the other team. If I had done it for this game, boom, won. Nope.
So, looking at that,
6-5.
6-5.
It's close. Closer than last week, I think.
Closer than last week. I won 5-3. So you're improving.
We're getting there.
We're getting there. I'm currently 2-0 up. So Cam's got a bit of a comeback. However, saying that, Cam had the chance to redeem himself while we go through
the Saturday, the 18th of February fixtures.
Match day 24. You know what? Let's just let's start up with Saturday the 18th. You know what? You normally do it.
Do you want me to kick it off?
Sure.
So 12:30 kick-off. We have Aston Villa at home to Arsenal. This one's an interesting one.
Right.
Very interesting.
I just don't know what Arsenal's going to turn up now.
No.
Honestly, they've been shit. Right. All I know from Aston Villa is they start the game strong. This is where
it's like a 4-0.
4-0 Arsenal at half time.
Right.
Arsenal will win this game.
For me, I'm just going to go a typical 1-0 Arsenal. I think they'll score, drag it out, just seal a victory. It probably will be like 2-3-1. I'm just going to go safe and say 1-0. Mm-hmm. So we at least get a point.
I'm going to say Aston Villa. I hate this.
It's tough, isn't it?
I see Villa scoring, but I don't at the same time. I'm going to predict Arsenal to win this 2-0.
Yeah.
I think they're going to bounce back.
Yeah.
Because I do need to give Arsenal the respect. You know what? I'm going to give them the respect. I think Arsenal are going to win this 2-0.
Okay.
They're just going to survive the onslaught.
So we both agree that Arsenal are going to win.
Yes, mate. Are you saying 2-1? Yeah.
I'm saying 1-0.
You're saying 1-0.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So our first 3 o'clock kickoff is Brentford at home to Crystal Palace.
Okay. Brentford at home. They're very good. I only see Brentford winning this game.
I'm going to say 2-0 to Brentford.
I was literally going to say that.
Yeah. We can agree.
You know what? I'm going to say 1-0 Brentford.
Okay, fair enough.
I think Brentford have been phenomenal this season.
Yeah, they have.
Thomas Frank has been inspirational for them.
I don't picture Crystal Palace winning.
I don't picture them scoring, to be honest, mate.
No, that's what I mean. So I'm going to go with 2-0 to Brentford. And you're also going to go with 1-0, just to be clear.
Yes, correct.
Next we go to Brighton at the Amex at home to Fulham.
This is tasty.
It's tough. This one's really tough. Because I feel like Fulham could nab something here, but I could see Brighton spanking them. I'm probably going to go with a draw and say about 2-2.
I see this game going 2-1 to Brighton. Okay. I was going to say 1-1.
Yeah.
However, I think Brighton will nick it.
Yeah. Okay.
2-1 possibly. I just think they have been in really good form recently. Brighton, obviously Fulham have as well. However, I just think Brighton just have that edge.
Yeah.
I just think they've got the edge to them. Just that cutting edge. Just a few more goals in them than Fulham, I'd respectively say.
Yeah.
And you're saying 2-2, mate? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Alright, our next 3 o'clock kickoff is Chelsea at home to Southampton. I feel like this is where Chelsea are going to pick up another win.
They have to.
Get back to it, and I think it's going to be convincing. I think Southampton will score, but I'm going to say 3-1. Oh, yeah. I feel like they'd keep a clean sheet. I'm going to say 3-0.
Okay.
If Southampton score a goal, I'm fuming.
I'm going to say Chelsea are going to win this 2-0.
2-0, yeah.
I don't see Southampton scoring at all, to be honest, mate.
So 3-0 for me, 2-0 for you.
Yeah, Chelsea have to win this game. If they don't win this game, honestly, I'd be calling for Graham Potter's head. They have to win this game.
The next game is Everton at home to Leeds United at Goodison Park. Very important for both sides.
It'll be interesting how they both set up.
If Everton win, they go out of the relegation zone. If Leeds win, they go 3 points clear of the relegation zone, essentially.
Correct.
I'm not even saying this as an Everton fan, but I do think we'll win. I think it'll be tough. I think we'll win 2-1, to be honest with you. I'm gonna say 2-1. I don't see us I don't see us not winning. That's all I'm gonna say. So I'm gonna say 2-1 to Everton. I'm
going to say a draw.
You're gonna say a draw?
I'm going to say Everton versus Leeds is going to be 1-1.
1-1.
Yeah, I think it's going to be tight. I think it's going to be.
Score.
Yeah, I definitely see Leeds scoring and I see Everton scoring. But to be honest, like I said, I just see a draw happening all over here, mate. So what's your prediction again?
2-1 to Everton.
2-1 to Everton. Obviously, I'd expect you to back your boys. That sounded like a bit of an insult, like they're playing City away.
No, I just expect. I just think we'll win. That's all.
That's fair.
The next game is Nottingham Forest at home to Manchester City. I think it'll be straightforward for City. I think they'll win 2-0. Simple as that. Just straight out the park.
You'll say 2-0, yeah.
2-0 to City.
I'm going to say 3-0 to Manchester City.
Okay.
Sorry, any Nottingham Forest fans, but
I don't think they'd expect much.
yeah. I wouldn't, to be fair. I think City are really going to start to kick off their season now, especially from the result we've just seen.
Then the last 3 o'clock kickoff is Wolves at home to Bournemouth. I don't see Wolves getting 3 wins on the bounce, and I'm going to just say 1-1. I think they'll draw. I just think they'll draw 1-1.
I think they'll win. I think Wolves win this 1-0.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I could see that definitely. Just tie it.
Just nicking it.
Yeah.
These predictions are quite good because we're all. We're not going with the same teams. We're going with different teams and different kind of results, like draws or wins.
Definitely.
But yeah, I think Wolves will nick it. I think they'll get 3 wins in a row. I think they'll be quite lucky with this one.
Yeah.
But I do reckon like a Ruben Neves penalty maybe.
Yeah.
You know, I predicted the Ivan Toney goal. Maybe I can do the Ruben Neves.
Okay. And then our final Saturday kickoff is a very juicy one.
This is interesting.
Yeah. 5:30 kickoff, St James's Park under the lights. Wait, is it dark at that time? Yeah, probably.
Yeah, it is.
Newcastle at home to Liverpool.
What?
This is really tough to call because since they last played, the form has been very different. Liverpool have conceded 3 in their last 3 away games, I'm pretty sure. To Wolves, Brentford and Brighton. Will it happen again? No, I don't think so. I think Newcastle will win 2-1.
2-1.
Yeah.
2-1 Newcastle win.
Yeah.
I love that.
I do think they'll win. Just.
Oh, I don't know what. I don't know what any team will turn up. I don't know what Liverpool team will turn up, but I just don't think it was convincing. You know what? I'm going to go with what my head thought, and I'm going to go with a 1-0 Newcastle win.
Okay. That's really good. That's safe.
I just think they'll nick it. I think they'll grab a goal and they'll sit back, and Liverpool will struggle.
Okay. So that's our Saturday kickoffs done. Next we go to Sunday, which is a 2 o'clock kickoff between Manchester United and Leicester City.
Whoop whoop.
I think it'll be straightforward. I think United will win. Probably. I'm gonna say 2-1.
I think we'll struggle here.
Do you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Leicester have scored 8 goals in 2 games.
Good one.
They have, haven't they?
No, I know. Yeah.
Obviously they won 4-2 against Aston Villa and 4-1 against Spurs.
Yeah.
I think we'll struggle because we played at the Nou Camp on Thursday night in a very competitive game, and then going to Old Trafford Sunday, Leicester will be up for it. I think we'll draw 1-1.
Really?
Honestly, I don't want to be that guy, but I'm being that guy.
Yeah.
If we win, win. If we draw, I might weigh 3 points. But
yeah, I'm gonna say 2-1 United still.
But I hope Man United can get a win. I really do. But I think we will struggle. Just for fitness wise and in respect, Leicester are doing quite good.
Yeah, 100%.
But I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm severely wrong. I hope we pump them 4-0. But it'll be. I think it'll be a tough game. But if we end up winning, then Eric Ten Hag deserves a statue outside. Because playing 3 games a week, winning all these tough games, he is a gorgeous man.
And then we have Tottenham at home to West Ham United as our last game of the weekend.
This will be the most boring game, and I'll happily miss it.
I think Spurs will win 2-0. But there was I was going to say as well, there was someone telling me that I think West Ham could nick it 1-0.
Yeah.
The more I think about it, no. Tottenham will win.
I think Spurs will win this 1-0.
Yeah. I'm going to say 2-0, but yeah.
Fingers crossed fucking West Ham gets something.
Yeah.
Because obviously, are you saying 2-0, mate? Yeah.
Yeah, 2-0.
Yeah, fingers crossed they get something. I really do hope, because Spurs, they're not climbing the table.
Yeah.
And they're somehow getting these results, and they're somehow massively in the fight for top 4.
Yeah, 100%.
That is it. Is there any other little secret games? No.
No, the next one's not till Friday, which can be put into next week's predictions.
Yes.
So that is it for the weekend. 24, 22, 23, whatever the hell it is.
Yeah. This was match week 24. No, it weren't. This was match week 23.
23. Okay.
Excuse me. We hope you guys, you listeners at home, have enjoyed this episode 4 of the Let's Talk Football podcast.
As always.
Like I said, I've enjoyed it. Hopefully you guys have as well.
Yeah.
And obviously do tune in for next week results and predictions. Like I said, guys, and there may be a video coming out next Tuesday or Wednesday talking about the Super League and Manchester City's financial fair play.
Yeah.
So do stay tuned for that. I hope you guys have enjoyed listening to episode 4 of our podcast. Thank you guys so much for listening, and we'll speak to you guys later.
See you later, guys.